man. It ain't easy taking care of people. Man, it's not easy. I leave the house, my daughter sleep, I go to work, I go put some work in, I be productive for 4 hours while I'm at work, I get home, my dog probably barking. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna sleep a little bit, and my child gonna wake up, and she gonna wake up, and I got a whole day playing with her. Yep. And then in the midst of doing that, I got this work report I gotta do, and I'm just sitting there like, gosh, man, I ain't complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just making a comment about how, man, it ain't easy. Man, now, I wouldn't want it easy. But I will say I did sneak in one gym session this whole week, and it was freaking today. You know, I haven't ran in 3 days. And, you know, I ain't making no excuses. But I would say every day this week except Saturday, I had like 20,000 steps. So I've been working. But I would say my body feels better when I do a lot of movement and running. So I'm going to try to make a commitment to running more. But, man, tell me on how that's going to get accomplished when it's freaking 100-some degrees outside. We at 105. So I'm like, But, you know, I had these same excuses when I used to bike ride. And I used to be like, man, I would bike ride, but it's 100 degrees outside. So I'm trying to make a more conscious effort. And then I'm going to get my strength training workout. I'm going to get my strength training working out on because I've been slacking. I'm losing weight, but I'm slacking in the whole physical fitness department. Grocery store up today. I'm gonna get back on track today because your boy Micah been slipping. Now this slipping I've been doing is it's not bad. It's just not up to my standards. So yeah, sometimes you have to go through good and bad times to carefully evaluate and analyze where your particular standards are at the moment, because man, they can change at any time, and a lot of times we feel bad or negative, or I would say not in a good mood, not in a good state, because we have to change our standards. You know, I have a gym membership, but you know, a gym is not a good place to go to nowadays. But I gotta have a gym membership to stay balanced. You know, I can't. What I do at the gym, I can't do at home because you know I don't have the appropriate space or funds to get what I need. Like bench pressing. You know, I am finally at 205 benching, and I give all kudos to the dieting, but I can probably lift more than 205, but I've never ever been able to lift more than probably like 145-ish, because 50 on both sides. Yeah, that's the most I've ever been able to comfy lift without a spotter, without a spotter. With a spotter, I've been able to go 80, let me see, 70, like 185 with a spotter, the most. My goal is to get to like 2 plates. I think I can do it. I think I just need a spotter. If I get a spotter, I can do 2 plates. If I can do 2 plates, 230. I think that's 235. I go crazy because it would be ridiculous. So that's going to be my plan and move forward. And I got this rule. If we in a group, we in a group. We can't be changing the group without talking to members in the group. So yeah, that's super critical with me. Gotta keep the group on point. It's like, for example, if I'm dating you and you got a group of friends, you can't be getting on a new group of friends and I don't know y'all friends, because it's gonna throw my energy off a little bit. Because you telling me something about these group of friends, so I'm expecting the bar to be at a certain spot. Alright? Makes it challenging and disturbing when we encounter situations where I have to, open up to a group of people that you have already opened up to. Now, I will say this, there's nothing wrong with making friends. I'm not saying you shouldn't make friends, but I will say if you in a group, y'all in a group, you can't bring new people in the group and make them legit group members without clearly discussing and communicating everything before it happens. You can't do it and then be like, it's done, we can't talk about it, because that make people uncomfortable. Nobody want to be uncomfortable in a group. That's the purpose of being in a group. So definitely don't want to do that. And I personally wouldn't do it. I would keep my interactions and interchanging with different populations and people at all times. I wouldn't, hey, I'm friends with him, so you friends with him. I learned my lesson on that a long time ago. Yeah. I had a homeboy. We went to go see some more homeboys, and we go to the club, and he decided to bring a chick home, which is not his home. He brought a chick to my homeboy house. And at this homeboy house, he then went into the bedroom with the chick and locked the door. Yeah. So you know what happened? They looking at me like, what your boy doing? And I'm looking around like, I ain't got time for this. This out of my comfort zone. So that's how I learned to not mix. And then I had another friend, we would go out and he'll get wasted drunk. But the drunk he would get is something I'm used to, but I don't like it, but I'm used to, I can handle it. But when we go with other people, it's like, hey, you making me look bad in my establishment. Yeah. So you don't do that. You don't mix groups. You just keep the groups separate. Do what y'all do. We do what we do, and everything goes a lot smoother. It prevents any challenges or unnecessary complications with people. And well, I ain't gonna say people. I say parties. With all parties, you never want anybody in the party to feel uncomfortable, so it's best you talk about those things. And that's something, I constantly with my operations and how I get down, If I mess with you on a certain level, I'm only gonna mess with you on that level. I'm not gonna entwine you and bring you into another situation when that's not why I mess with you, I'm not going to use parenting as an example. It's a totally different conversation. Because you don't bring everybody around your kids. And I learned why you don't bring everybody around your kids. Because your kids may like them. I used to think you don't bring your kids. I've dated several people, and it gets a little challenging when I separate from them. My daughter would be like, hey, the kid. The person, the people, where they at? And it's like, dang, I had to cut them off. You don't want to have those conversations with your kid because they don't understand what cut off means. So I definitely don't do those things or have those types of conversations or do anything like that with my kid. But I don't do that with my friends either, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I go with my homeboy, like when I go out of town, I see my homeboys, I'm with my homeboys the whole time. But if I do leave, you know, it's not, check this out, this me. My homeboy gonna drop me off somewhere. My homeboy ain't gonna get me picked up from somewhere because it's awkward. It's like, man, you gonna bring these people I don't know to my comfort zone. Now I'm not comfortable. So me, you know, my homeboy will drop me off. Or I ain't catching no lift, but my homeboy will drop me off if we go encounter a situation where I'm about to engage another group of people, you know. And, you know, that's how it should be, you know. You should never just, I'm in your face. Because I go through that at my job, you know. I'll show up to work one day and it's like, they work here. And I be at work like, you here? And then I ask them crazy questions like, how long you been here? You know what they say? I've been here 3 months. And I be like, anybody told me? Okay. That's something I don't like. Now, I will say this. Just because I don't like something don't mean I'm going to act negative on it, you know. So, like, I don't like that about my job, but my job's been consistent about there. I've been there, like, over a year and a half, and they've been that way the whole time, you know. And people listening now, they'll be like, well, man, Michael, maybe because you don't go there that often. No, I used to be a supervisor. And as a supervisor, I encountered the same thing. I would go to work, and stuff would happen at work, and the coworkers would confront me and be like, you didn't know this? And then I'm like, huh? And then I talk to another supervisor, and they'd be like, yeah, we made this decision. And it's like, so the supervisors made a decision about work, but I didn't know. But it's been implemented by the people who... Okay, shut up, Michael. See? I learned that a long time ago in the military. People gonna do what they gonna do. So don't get mad when they already did it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this. If people doing stuff you don't like, you should have an avenue to talk about it or communicate it. But, you know, unfortunately, there are times where you're going to encounter situations where something's going to be done already. And you're going to be just now doing it. And you're going to feel like you should have been part of the development of the situation. But you know what you can do? You can shut up, look at your paycheck, and make changes in other places. Unless you feel like that's some type of area or domain you want to change, that's a different conversation. But if it's on work related and that's not your work, don't worry about it. You know, like for example, I used to make more money not at work than I did at work. So if I was going to implement change on my life, it wasn't going to be at work. It was going to be outside of work. You know, I made like twice as much not going in than going in. So for me to sacrifice more because of them, I'm not going to get mad at them. I'm going to look myself in the mirror and be like, Mike, if you don't like this job, you can leave. So everything has its breaking point. I got my breaking point and I just switched roles, you know. So that's something that I feel like we should always think about, you know. If something happens in the group or something happens in your situation, you're not required to stay in it. You have the option of leaving or finding ways to improve it. Yeah, you do have options. We always have options. So we shouldn't carry ourselves like we don't have options. Now, I will say, if we do find ourselves in a situation where shit happened and we don't like it, yeah, that's a different conversation. Something happened, you don't like it. But you can't let that affect you in the group. Because you have the right to lead a group or not, you know. The group clearly not thinking about you first. If the group was thinking about you first, you wouldn't be having these feelings. So that's what I'm pretty much trying to say. But, alright. Peace out. Holla.